Teodoro Troncoso shows off his family's tomato farm with pride. He knows the investors will be interested in how they've perfected the premium tomato. He thinks of his tomatoes as children, who get the best care so they can be 8 times the price of regular tomatoes. Teodoro is also eager to show them a preview of the campaign his son, Tito, has been working on for their new tomato sauce. He brings them to a room and shouts at Tito in anger when he spots a couple having sex in the tomato fountain. 1 month earlier, Tito and Teodoro were living in Pati do Alferes, which is 60 miles from Rio de Janeiro. Tito wakes up next to a woman and finds that her name is Anna. He asks Rose, who works for them, to get her son, Igor, to deal with Anna in his room. In Rio de Janeiro, Paula wakes up her roommates bright and early for their medical internship. Katia reminds Raisa and Paula about her bachelorette party that day. Paula seems sure they have enough time to finish their shift at the hospital before the bus departs. Paula refuses to skip even a day at work to get her residency. Her friends seem to think that Dr. Victor, who likes Paula a lot, will make sure she gets it. Igor wakes Anna up and offers to drop her home. Teodoro wants Tito to take on more responsibility. He asks him to meet at Troncoso later that day to discuss his birthday. Victor asks Paula to join for a surgery, but Raisa and Katia insist they have a prior engagement. When Victor reminds Paula about her residency, she agrees to stay. She thanks Victor for giving her opportunities. When Victor touches her hair and hints that he's into her, she feels disgusted. She joins her friends at the bus stop and feels humiliated by Victor's advances. Tito stops Igor from going to class so they can make a horse riding bet. Igor wants to study to get into a college in Rio, but Tito takes him along to get his birthday present. Tito gets stopped for speeding, but the cop lets him off. Fernanda refuses to let him go till she touches him and gets an invite for his birthday party. Igor assumes Tito has slept with all the women in town. He thinks his crush, Selma, is different from other girls. Teodoro plans to gift Tito a chance to work at the company as his birthday present. Instead of gifting Tito the car, he wants him to earn it. Teodoro asks Tito to shadow Monique, who is a junior executive at the company. Monique has worked hard to get into Troncoso's trainee program. She doesn't like Tito's attitude, but is showing him around because Teodoro wants it. Tito is more interested in planning his birthday at the Tomato Festival. Paula and her friends also arrive at the Tomato Festival for the bachelorette party. Igor realizes his name is not on the list, but Tito asks the guard to let him in. He has invited Selma from Igor's class too, as a present for him. Tito tries to introduce Igor to Selma, but she's more interested in Tito and kisses him. Igor is mad at Tito for always having an advantage. He thinks Tito is no one without his money and status. An announcement is made about the Tomato Prince organizing a tomato fight. Just as Paula tries to get out of it, Tito throws a tomato at her. She tries to retaliate, and a man tries to force himself on her. Tito helps Paula, but the man punches him. Paula helps Tito with the nosebleed and assures him that she's qualified as a graduate from med school. She fixes his nose and starts ranting about the stupid tomato fight. Paula is mad at whoever came up with the concept when so many people are going hungry. Tito learns that they're in town for Katia's bachelorette party. As Katia and Raisa leave to meet her cousin, Paula stays back to help Tito. He takes her to a greenhouse so they can rinse his nose. Knowing how much Paula hates the Tomato Prince, Tito pretends he's the son of the caretaker. He invites her for horse riding, but she doesn't seem interested. The next morning, Teodoro gifts Tito the car he wanted anyway. He still wants Tito to figure out how to live without an alliance. Tito impresses him by insisting that he wants to earn the job at Troncoso. Tito asks Igor to tag along with him to Rio to take part in the Troncoso trainee program. He asks Igor to exchange identities with him so that he can get the job without an advantage. He also promises to give Igor his car if he gets the job. They arrive in Rio and stay in his dad's hotel suite. Tito crashes Katia's wedding and exchanges clothes with a janitor. He keeps watching Paula and notices Victor getting close to her. Anna, who turns out to be Katia's cousin, seems curious about why Tito is there. He ignores her and follows Paula to another room. He makes sure Paula can see him working. He claims he left everything behind to get his dream job with the Troncoso trainee program. She admires his courage, but Victor tries to interrupt them. Paula takes that opportunity to kiss Tito in front of Victor. She takes Tito to the beach, where he claims his family never had money to travel. Paula seems sure he will get the job at Troncoso because of his determination. He tries to kiss her, but Paula doesn't want any distractions. On their first day at work, Igor and Tito run into Monique again. She has just been fired and doesn't care about Tito trying to start from scratch. Tito makes sure that the marketing director, Celio Porto, thinks Igor is Tito. Alana, the talent development consultant who is supervising the program, meets all the trainees. She asks Tito to make coffee, but he doesn't know how to work the machine. Celio points to Igor and asks Alana to pay special attention to him. She has also heard about Tito's playboy nature and tries to flirt with Igor. When Tito comes back with his horrible coffee, Igor steps in to make a proper one for Alana. She asks Tito to print something for the presentation, but he messes that up too. Alana loves how humble Igor is and thinks he's off to a great start. Tito calls Monique for help and finds her taking care of her sick sister with a baby. He begs Monique to teach him how to earn the position like she did from the bottom. Monique is more worried about real problems like finding a doctor for her sister. Tito brings Paula to help Monique and seems sure of her abilities. He also promises to give Monique his car if she can help him get the position at Trancoso. Paula helps Monique get an appointment at the hospital, so she hugs her. Tito apologizes to Paula for the hassle, but she's happy. Helping Monique's sister reminded her why she wants to be a doctor. He asks Paula out and charms her with his cuteness. Monique wakes Tito up early in the morning and asks him to start before the others. Tito manages to take printouts of the presentation, but the marketing strategy has changed overnight. Alana scolds him for doing something he wasn't asked to and makes him shred the pages. To help him save face, Monique asks Tito to gain an ally by taking an initiative. When the time comes for trainees to give suggestions for an ad campaign, Tito asks Celio for some samples. This gives him a good impression, but he needs Monique's help to plan a date with Paula. Monique is disappointed that he's lying to Paula about being poor, but suggests a place on a budget. She teaches him how to take a bus and shows him some funk dance steps. Paula loves the date, but thinks her parents wouldn't approve of it. They were always broke, and her mother only dates rich guys after her divorce. Paula doesn't approve of that lifestyle because she doesn't want to be dependent on someone. This story makes Tito think of his mom, who passed away 2 years ago and always lived for his dad. Paula wants to go to Tito's place afterwards, so he asks Igor for help. Igor wakes up the doorman, Mr. Francisco, and asks him to play along with Tito's plan. Tito brings her to the hotel and claims he's crashing at his uncle's place. He introduces Francisco to Paula and asks for the key to his room. He brings her to a very small room he's embarrassed of, but Paula thinks it's perfect. Igor brings Francisco to Tito's room that night. Tito and Paula move the couch so they can get a better view of the balcony. When he sleeps with her that night, he finds it weird that he doesn't need anything else. The next morning, Tito suggests using a tomato sauce fountain for their ad campaign. Alana seems to like Igor's idea better of using the tomato Trancoso mascot. Celio also likes Tito's fountain idea, so Tito and Igor are made to work together. Alana overhears Paula asking for Tito and assumes she's one of his lady friends. She hopes his playboy nature is a rumor because he's well behaved. Igor pretends he needs to get rid of Paula, so Alana helps him sneak out. Paula gets angry at Tito after what Alana mentioned. Tito assures Paula that Alana is trying to sabotage him so that the president's son can get an upper hand. Alana asks Igor to cook for her and flirts with him. Tito gets a message about Monique's sister and rushes to her place with Paula. He uses a horse to get there when the cab driver doesn't want to drop them in the rain. While Paula helps Monique's sister with a seizure, Tito takes care of her son, Mateus. The next morning, Tito comes to the hotel and sleeps next to Alana without realizing it. When Francisco wakes up, Alana assumes that he is Teodoro and starts buttering him up. Tito is mad at Igor for sleeping with Alana and thinks he's cheating on their bet. Igor reminds Tito he has always played unfairly like this. Igor plays along and pretends that Francisco is his father. Tito wakes up late for work and finds that Igor is already impressing people with work on the fountain. Tito reminds Alana that it was his idea, but she doesn't give him a right to protest against Igor when he's late. Paula's friends are annoyed with Victor being cheap with her and decide to add a sedative to his coffee. Paula reminds Tito about her graduation party, but they run into his dad. Paula scolds Teodoro for asking Tito to be late for work. Teodoro is not offended and agrees to discuss things with Tito on the way to his office. Teodoro wants Tito to meet the investors that night. Tito agrees to the meeting at a restaurant near Paula's graduation party venue. Igor is panicking because Alana expects him to take her to the investors' dinner. Tito suggests that Igor should dine at the same restaurant that night with Francisco and some fake investors. When Alana meets them, she assumes they are genuine. Meanwhile, Tito gets frustrated when Teodoro claims the job will go to him only. He excuses himself from the dinner and changes into casual clothes for Paula's party. Victor is trying to flirt with Paula again, so her friends spike his drink. He refuses to accept the drink with the pink umbrella and gives it to Paula. She's about to have it when Tito falls on the road, and she rushes to look after him. Raisa gets Tito a painkiller, but he drinks the spiked drink without anyone realizing. Tito seems drunk and makes another excuse to go to the bathroom. He changes back and joins the meeting again. He soon learns that Teodoro fired Monique so he could free up the junior executive position for him. He leaves again for Paula's party, but forgets to change out of the suit. He takes Victor's guitar to play a song for Paula. He steps into the fire unknowingly and rushes into the ocean to put it out. When he runs back to the meeting, Anna spots him. She learns that Paula is dating him and calls her a tomato princess. Tito asks Igor to switch suits with him since he burned his. Teodoro watches them undressing in the bathroom and asks Tito not to come back. Igor is also tired of Tito's demands. Paula knows who Tito is and fights with him for lying about his identity. Tito is so sedated that he passes out on the road when she leaves. Victor finds Paula alone, but she's not in the mood to entertain him. She shouts at him for harassing her all the time and rejects the residency. Anna finds Tito on the road and helps him out. At the end of the night, Alana wants to go somewhere exciting with Igor. The next morning, when Teodoro is bragging about the tomatoes to the investors, he finds Igor and Alana having sex in the tomato fountain. He assumes it's Tito and gets angry. Tito wakes up next to Anna when his dad walks in. Teodoro doesn't understand what's going on with the doorman in his room, and Tito is hanging out with many different girls. He thinks Tito has become more irresponsible. Tito asks Monique if he can stay at her place. She allows him if he helps with household chores. Tito tries to explain to Paula why he lied, but she doesn't believe him. She has signed up for a volunteer program in the Amazon and is leaving soon. Celio suggests to Teodoro that there's someone apart from Tito who is perfect for the job. Alana thinks Teodoro is someone else and asks him to vacate the seat for the president. Celio introduces them formally and asks Alana to back off. When Celio announces that Tito has been chosen for the junior executive position, both Tito and Igor get up. Igor then walks towards the stage but refuses to take the job. He admits he's not Tito. Since no one gets the job, Tito announces on stage that it should have always been Monique's job. Monique is angry at Tito, but warms up to him soon. Alana doesn't care that Igor isn't Tito, because she's interested in the person he is. They discuss who should get the car because no one technically won the bet. Tito suggests they should sell the car and invest it in their future. 1 year later, everyone surprises Tito for his birthday in Monique's house. Paula also heard about his new project and dropped by. Teodoro is now one of Tito's clients. His company is co-owned by Monique, Igor, and his wife, Alana. Tito takes Paula to the terrace to show her the project. Every resident is earning extra income by growing organic premium tomatoes. He thanks Paula for inspiring him to start his own business. He shows her his empire and kisses her.